So this is the Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat. It's the Hellcat Charger.
We've driven the Challenger Hellcat, this same engine. I know why this is called the Hellcat now. It has nothing to do with the fact that this is pure evil coming out of the tailpipes. It has everything to do with the fact that any of your friends will sit here, whether they're driving or whether they're riding passenger, and when you pin them to their seat, the only thing they'll be able to say is, bloody hell, this thing's fast. How the hell am I supposed to drive through town in this car? Why the hell does this thing exist?
For size comparison, it's essentially the size of an Audi A8. In fact, it's within a whisper of every dimension of an Audi A8, including weight and length. I mean, this is a huge full-size car. To get a car with a similarly powerful engine, you have to talk to like Pagani or Lamborghini to get up into the 700 horsepower, 650 torque range. Yes? In the world we live in, Dodge makes one of the fastest sedans on the planet.
$71,000. Would I pay $71,000 for this car? Because, you know, the door panels aren't exactly the most amazing, beautiful plastic. The interior materials are okay. I spent a lot of time this morning walking around the car, looking at the fit and finish, looking at panel gaps, looking at the styling. I concluded that it really didn't strike me as much as the last generation, the SRT8 that we drove. That was so aggressive, and this is kind of backed off. It looks a little bit bland in comparison.
I do prefer this new front end to the old one. I know not everybody feels that way. I don't even think Paul feels that way. But in this variation, it looks wonderfully aggressive. But everything about this car is still huge. I mean, this could be a truck interior and you wouldn't have to change anything.
This is very familiar to me. I have a Jeep Grand Cherokee, so all the steering wheel controls, everything here is very familiar, and I like that. The build quality is great, and I'm sure this is going to run a long time. But then I come back to, yeah, the materials here, and okay, yeah, it's got the leather package, which feels good, and okay, everything's kind of nice, but you know, $40,000 cars are nicer inside than this.
These seats are revised for the 2015 model, and yet I find I still can't get quite comfortable. I mean, I'm a big guy, I've got a long torso, and yet I want to get even lower in this car. I feel like I'm sitting very upright. Beyond that, every time I'm in one of these Dodges, I realize I'm just not big enough. I need about 60, 80 pounds to really go, oh yeah, these fit good.
When you dial up your performance pages on the center screen here, you can get to a screen that gives you engine stats, and it tells you how much horsepower you're using depending on where the throttle is and depending on how fast you're going. It kind of screws with your head, and it's a little dangerous because you think, oh, I'm going, what, 60 miles an hour here. The car's only using 71 horsepower. How the hell do you use all 700 horsepower?
I'm doing about quarter throttle right now. It says I'm using all of 150 horsepower. Let's give it all of it. See, that was still only like 550. What is required if I'm going uphill and accelerating like that? What is required to get all of the horsepower available? Insane. But the way you can hammer along at speed, I mean, when you're going 80, it feels like 40 or 50. It absorbs speed so well, and it insulates you from just how fast you're taking this enormous automobile.
I'm liking this engine in this car much better. I like the stance, I like the feel, I like the car a bit better. Challenger's okay, it's fun, and now I'm debating the merits of the two transmissions because we've had this engine, obviously in a different chassis, we've driven the manual, and as fun as that is, I kind of like the immediacy of this transmission. On downshifts, it kicks down pretty immediately. You could see that. Ready? See? Just like that. Kicks down, and suddenly you're way into triple digits. Wow. Or as Todd would say, holy hell.
As much as we aren't stat guys, the point of this car really is that engine. I mean, that really is the defining statistic of this car. But if you think about what this can do capability-wise, both in hauling people and in just its sheer speed and thrust, you've got to almost double your money and go like Porsche Panamera Turbo to match this capability.
Yes, it is bargain kind of power. All right, I have to. Many daily triples.
I'm reminding you, 700 horsepower, 650 pound-feet of torque. Most cars that feel powerful have half of what this car has to work with.
And you're just gonna say to yourself, hell, this thing is fast. That's about all there is to say.
We're not really guys that normally do burnouts. And when we did the Challenger, we actually gave ourselves the task of doing a piece that was just about everything but the burnout. So I have to admit, when we got this car, we acknowledged it's time to do some burnouts. Wow, just getting tossed around a lot on this high mountain road, but oh my gosh, that's just kind of cutting its own swath through the world. Now, of course, a big car like this, it's tough to get something of this scale to handle very well. Now, Dodge has got adaptive suspension in here. You can customize it to set the settings you want. They also have a preset of sport and of track.
It actually is impressive through these corners, how the car composes itself. I feel the weight. You know, the steering is not really amazingly communicative. It's not giving me all kinds of information here, but the car tracks fairly flat in track mode.
Now, track is pretty aggressive. It makes this car very stiff. In fact, a little bit too stiff for just kind of normal driving. You're a little bit better off in sport most of the time, but you do have a custom feature where you can set up suspension, steering feel, transmission, all of those to your liking. I've kind of mixed and matched here and found something I like. Now, you can add eco. I'm not kidding. You can add eco to any of those settings, which is kind of like putting your axe murderer in a tux. I mean, it's not really doing much.
You know, I've also been leaving this transmission in drive. I kind of prefer it because of the nature of the car. Yes, you can slide it over like this, downshift, fifth into fourth, hang out and keep your revs here. Really, these paddles are just matched to the supercharger whine.
They've revised the gear lever in this version. It's a little bit less like the Audi gear lever, and their revision has actually made it much better to exactly slot what gear you're in. The other one took a little bit of like, wait, no, that's too many pushes, wait, I gotta go back one.
Even though it's inexpensive American power, relatively speaking, it's still expensive just to own and operate and run the car, because anytime anybody is in the car with you, they're gonna say, come on, do it, come on. And you'll happily oblige.
In many ways, the Charger Hellcat is just America personified. I mean, it is excess in every way you can imagine, in size, in the bulk of the seats, in the power of the engine, in the look of it. It's just excessive in every single way for no really good reason other than just because we can.
Open range. Did you see that sign? It said open range. That'd be a fitting license plate for this car. I mean, why the hell can't I drive 200 miles an hour everywhere in this car?
This is a big rolling penis. I'm sorry, it had to be said. This is a phallus on wheels. Maybe that's your car. I don't know. Who are you? What do you want? But that's what this is.
I love the Hellcat, I really do. It would be a third or fourth car for me,
This is the opposite of necessary. But if you want a family sedan that is a laugh and has genuine attitude, this needs to be very close to the top of your list.